Yo, what's going on guys? It's your boy The Real Weeb and we are back with another video. And today we will be looking at chapter 328 leaks and spoilers for Blue Lock. And if you guys do enjoy this video, please make sure to hit that like button down below and hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. And let's get straight into the video now. As we saw in the last chapter, we saw the return of Nagi, Seshiro, and Kira and how they are going through the Blue Lock test again, and they are being teamed up together for the birdcage. And at the very end of that chapter, we saw our boy Isagi be confronted by his coach Ego, and Ego wanted to have a word with Isagi. After the first match was finished, Isagi, having been called in, now faces Ego. And what is Ego's true intention? That is what we want to find out right now. Isagi says, "What is it? You wanted to talk." Ego says, "Yeah. With the win already guaranteed in that Nigeria match by an overwhelming lead, it was a good moment to test out an idea, a new way of thinking. At the end of the game, that last play, what was your intention?" says Ego. "That was, I just aimed for my own goal. As an egoist, I simply did what was natural." That is true what EC says. As an egoist, everyone wants to go for their own goal. That is the same for Kaiser. That is the same for EC. That is the same for Reen. Every player out there wants to be an egoist and literally score for their own benefit. Ego says that method is only a sub-weapon, a secondary tactic to use when you have room to spare. Don't make a way of winning that has no reproducibility on your main axis. EC says, "Yeah, I'm sorry, I think I understand that, but coach." Ego says, "If that gamble play keeps continuing, it will create confusion for even teammates who aren't even able to respond to it. And Blue Lock's formation from that moment forward will collapse." EC says, "Beating Noel Noah, I feel like I'm close to finding the theory where EC, becomes the best in the world." Ego, he's confused. He's like, "Huh?" And EC says, "That's why your soccer alone is no longer enough for me." He is saying that everything Ego has taught him is no longer enough. The Japan versus Nigeria. If you're going to go that far, then let me hear that. Let me hear the theory that EC has. Is basically what Ego was saying. Let me hear what theory he has. When I watched that, I realized something. It definitely expanded my image. This is huge. This view is insane. I guess you can come out onto the field too, huh, Coach Ego? Ego says this is for emergency use only. Do not get the wrong idea here. EC says, "Huh? Never mind. By the way, about that super play highlight. And then there's Loki and Lorenzo and even Kaiser in a single match or even a single play. I might win sometimes, but if I look at it objectively, I do not think I'm winning at all in pure individual ability. But now that I have truly felt that pain, that is exactly why I can face it head on now. Now I can clearly see what I am lacking. Beating Noel Noah with just physical ability, even if I were reborn a million times, that would be 100% impossible." EC knows that with his own ability, with his own natural strength, his own natural capability, it's not even close enough to beating Noel Noah. And through that process, an infinite chain of level ups is created. Someday, he will become strong enough to reach the very top of the world. And then Isagi leads off saying, "Humans have two types of people. There are talented learners and geniuses. I have literally discussed this in a video before. I called it prodigies versus geniuses." Ego, he's stunned. He doesn't even know what to say. They are not in a simple hierarchy, which one is always superior to the other. They clash. They stimulate each other and grow through direct competition. Isagi then looks at Ego. He says, "Back then, it felt like football itself was something divine, like it was guided by a god, and from there, the age of the Neo-Egoist League began. So that is the reason for the Neo-Egoist League." Ego says, "You could say that." But then he responds saying that's exactly why. Not just Reen, not just Bashira, no. Compared to all the geniuses here in Blue Lock, I gotta keep being the ultimate talent, the ultimate prodigy that makes them feel like they have to surpass me. So give me more. Give me a new kind of soccer. He just wants to keep on going forward, keep on being great. That's why he was so nice to that one striker on Team Nigeria, because he wanted him to be fired up. He wanted him to just get better so that he can surpass EC. That's why EC has so many rivals. That's why EC has Rin as his rival, Sei as his rival. That's why he has Loki as his rival, Kaiser. There's so many people who just want to surpass Issei. That's why he wants to keep on getting better and better. Then Ego looks at Issei saying, "Hey, Issei, do you think a god of football actually exists?" Issei says, "Huh? You mean like Zico or Maradona?" He himself doesn't even know, and Ego says, "Nah, I'm talking about something much more unscientific, something invisible." Issei says, "Huh? I don't really get it. Didn't expect that logical Ego-san to be talking about mystical stuff like that. That is not the type of person Ego is." What is past Ego? As we see, Ego, back when he was an active player, I actually encountered it. 7 minutes, it was the only time, never before or since, but back then, Ego actually did see something. And this is one of the first times we've actually seen a flashback of Ego in his prime. Ego when he was actually playing soccer. What is he trying to tell us? Ego then looks at EC saying, "Back then, I had to think some invisible force was at work to make sense of the inexplicable performance I pulled off." EC says, "Wait, is that different from flow or the luck equation?" Ego says, "Those are just things I derived from that experience in order to learn and reproduce it." Answer me, EC. Do you think a god of football really exists? EC says, "If that invisible power was thanks to God, then maybe he exists." Ever since coming to Blue Lock, the fact that I first met Bashira and in the U20 Japan match, at the very end the ball fell down to where it was. Those things could be the football gods. Ego's past is again mentioned, but God won't help me anymore. That's why I quit football in the first place. I've talked too much. Our discussion ended a while ago. Let's go. EC then says, "Please, watch me, coach." EC says, "I'll go meet the god of football myself if I have to." In the very final panel, we then see EC saying, "This EC that you created is going to make your dream come true, Ego." Ego says, "Yeah, try surpassing me, EC if you can. The determination to become the best in the world is now unleashed." And that is the very end of chapter 320 of Blue Lock. And man, that is a crazy chapter. We finally saw the backstory of Ego. We never saw Ego's backstory at all. And finally we literally got a chance to see it. And man, what kind of player was Ego? We still don't know that much. We just know that he decided to quit football, but maybe EC can pass him, and maybe he can finally pass his goal of being the best in the world and beating Noel Noah. What is gonna happen next? I don't know what's gonna happen, but that was a very nice chapter. If you guys enjoyed this chapter, please make sure to hit that like button down below, hit the subscribe button if you guys are new, and yeah, let me know down below in the comments what else you guys want to see, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.